Hello and welcome. I hope you're safe and well. Today's exciting episode, it's December. That means it's Vlogmas. So, yeah, I'm sort of going to talk about what I'm going to do all month.
It's perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Perfect jacket.
So, the rack is still ridiculously overflowing with all the makes from September, October and November. I have to make 3 videos on them, and yes, got loads of mess on the sideboard. Jackets partially made, very partially, and I set them aside because I was working on beading this jacket. I'll show you more of that at the end of the episode, but for now I decided I was going to do a big Christmas display on the sideboard. And but I hate this fabric in that it looks like stripes and it doesn't look very, I don't like it at all. So I decided to turn that up on its end so that it's taller. And then I put some more stuff in front of it. The dark fabric is a tweed in green and black. I've had it for years, still haven't made a jacket out of it. The 2 fabrics at the back, I'm going to make jackets out of those as well. And the Egyptian one, I was thinking about putting a feature on the back of it. That's why that one was sitting on the rack. And yeah, I bought some candy canes when I was at the grocery store. Yum. Haven't eaten a single one yet. We'll see how long they last. And then I had some little bags and I put scraps of green and red fabric in them. I took the blue beads out of the cookie jar and replaced them with green beads. So still no cookies in the cookie jar. I did buy some cookies, some chocolate chip ones. Yum. It's always a bit depressing when you buy cookies instead of making them. Oh, I love it. Handmade gingerbread. Yum. Anyway, so I don't mind this, but I think I need to put some mannequins in there, add a bit more depth, and I don't know, it just looks a bit chaotic now. So I think I'll try again tomorrow and add a few mannequins with dresses and other jackets and then see how it looks. And now an update on my use of bugle beads in 2 different colours. So in November, I got out all these fabrics that I wanted to make jackets out of because I am nothing if not ambitious. I will make a jacket out of basically anything. But yeah, so there's satin fabrics, there's velvet decorating fabrics, like interior fabrics. There's some quilting cottons, some cotton satines, and the gold lame. I don't know, I pronounce it the wrong way apparently. I say lame. Some of them are just so pretty. Oh, and lots of felts. There's going to be loads of beading on the felt, so you won't actually see the felt. But it's a good base because the beads can nestle into it. When I squished all the fabrics over to one side, they look so good in the reel, but they just look weird in like a normal frame. Anyway, yes, they did all fall over, but then I made 6 of them up as jackets, and well, I've only made the outer jacket. I haven't cut the lining or sewn it in yet, and I was going to do that. Really, seriously, I absolutely wasn't procrastinating at all. Anyway, so then, yeah, totally procrastinating. So I decided I would do just a little bit of this beading. I wouldn't do along the fronts or around the neckline because you kind of have to, if you want to machine sew something, you can't put beads where the feet of the sewing machine are going to go, because obviously that would lead to broken glass everywhere. But as I was making that one and doing all the hand stitching, I was like, oh, you know what would look really good? I only used up about half the bugle beads on this blue Chanel jacket. What if I use the other half on this one? Because it's got sort of inky blue, navy blue, and it's sort of deep olivey green, as well as some golden in there. You can't really see, but the stems of the twigs are golden. And it also has splotches like it was actually hand drawn on, and some of the watercolor or whatever dripped over or flicked out of the pen. It's so cool. And I thought by using bugle beads, because they're long and straight, it would sort of make you think of the brush strokes or etchings, or you know how people sort of do those scratchy illustrations with the pen. and I just thought it would give more depth and dimensionality to the design. So, because I just love it. It's so vintage, and I don't know, something about it. I absolutely love it. So that was my plan. But I also wanted to mix some other thing, sort of maybe green or olive green in there as well. Sorry about my voice. So, but then I decided I would do the dark ones first, the navy bugle beads first, and then once I've done a bit of that, then I'd decide where to go from there. So these are the bugle beads. They're longer than a standard bugle bead, which means it is more difficult to stitch them on because you have to use a thinner, longer needle, and it has to be thin enough to get through it, but it has to be sturdy enough that you don't beading is, you have to use like a different needle for each type of bead that you use, to, unless you want to take a million years, in which case you can use just a fine needle and just go really, really slowly. But I sort of prefer to find the best one for each situation. Anyway, so I'm using navy thread on here. This is my sample. So I did like 3 threads and 3 sets of threads, and yeah, I like the look. But then I was like, actually, because I remembered I had these larger, they're much larger green ones, and they're obviously transparent, these ones. This makes the blue one, navy blue ones that I had, look much smaller. They're not. Like, I should have got out a regular bugle bead so you could see all of them beside each other. These ones are giants. They're absolutely massive. The navy ones, most people would consider them too big to use. And so these green ones are truly massive. Here we go. I shot some footage. The bronze ones are regular size ones. And then you can see relative to those regular ones, these are both absolute giants. The reason this matters is because I'm beading a jacket. And obviously you've got shoulders which are round. You've got, it's a loose jacket, but you've still got round shoulders, you've got bust, so they're too big to sort of bend around anything. So you have to be very careful of the direction that you put them on. Like, some of them you can't have horizontal and some of them you can't have vertical based on where they are, and you can't put them around the area where your elbow will bend or anything like that. So anyway, I'm doing a design on the back, and I love these beads because they remind me of a stained glass window. They're amazing. But as I was doing that, I was like, actually, the little petrol blue bugle beads now make it, the rest of it in contrast, look very black and white. So I'm thinking of, once I finish this design element, this green design element, going back and putting some individual green ones, threading them, mixing them in to sort of brighten it up a bit, because adding the petrol colored bugle beads just darkened the whole design more than I anticipated. And I mean, I can just take the beads off and redo it, obviously. But I was thinking, if I just add a few green ones, that will sort of, they just capture the light so beautifully, and they bring sunshine to wherever you put them on. I love it. I originally bought these, and this is me saying, well, obviously when you're working with green beads, you have to use green thread. Whereas when you're working with dark, like navy blue beads, you want to use a navy thread. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that. Some of the navy beads, sort of the finish on them makes it look like they're a sort of antique gold, sort of avocado colour. So perhaps I could get away with using the same thread on these beads that I've been using on the larger green ones. But I also will have to, don't know what I'm going to do about the needle, because you need the longer needle to do the long bead. Anyway, I'm getting maybe I'll just go and finish this green It reminds me so much of a stained glass window. Would it be too ridiculous to do a cutout? I suppose if you wear red a lot, then that would be good. You could do a triangle cutout on the back of a jacket and it would show through, and also the lining. But I rarely wear red, so it seems like a lot of fuss for... I was thinking you could insert netting, but anyway, and so then I've done some more. I still haven't finished it. I took a break, and while I was having my coffee, I edited this section so far. I love these green beads. I originally bought them to use them as stems on the yellow floral jacket. I have enough so you can see how some are sticking up higher than others. They've got a green stem on them. Depending on the angle that you look at it, you can actually see that there's a stem there. Otherwise, I guess it just looks like it's magically taller. But it looks more organic if everything's at different heights. So some of them are using shorter bugle beads and some of them are using these massive. And because they're thicker, they work really well as a stem and they stand up nice and straight and hold the flower beautifully. Anyway, I am going to go back and bead some more of this now. I love using these beads. I think it's been a while since I've used green beads, so maybe that's why I'm so obsessed, even though they're all basically the same bead over and over. I do think I'll take off the sample section of the navy beads. They sort of muddied the design too much, especially in the corner down here in the corner where I started. Up the top is better. It's more organic. So yeah, I have a clear idea of what I want it to look like now. So I'll finish this, then I'll go back and redo the first part. There was a lot going on in the background of that, wasn't there? Anyway, I finished the triangle. Well, there's still a few patches I might need to add beads to, but we'll put it up on the mannequin to have a look at it. So this is what it looks like. These sleeves, because they don't have the weight of the beads yet, the sleeves are absolutely batty, but this is what it looks like from the back. It's so cute. There's something very Art Deco about this. I love it. I'm not so thrilled about the darker, smaller bugle beads, but this triangle is absolutely fabulous. It's probably a little large. Once the sleeves are properly weighted, then the shoulder will be more rounded, and this triangle won't look so weird, and the corners won't look so sharp, the top corners. Now I'm just showing you I'm really not sure about these bugle beads anymore. I like the idea of them, but in practice they just, I don't know, I think you have to be up too close to understand how the finish impacts the design, the print. And I don't want anyone like coming up and staring at me really closely. So I think I might just take them all off. And I really love these green beads. So maybe I'll just do green beads, like lighter, sparser version of the same beading that I've done on the triangle. Just do that over the whole of the jacket. But to differentiate this back feature design and the rest, maybe I'll use navy thread so that it's not quite so bright. And that way the triangle will look different than the rest of the beading covering everywhere else on the jacket. I want to like this navy bugle beads beading more than I do. So maybe I'll take them off and put them on a different jacket. I've got a couple of tweeds that would go really well with those smaller navy bugle beads. So maybe I'll do that. Oh, and here, I'm not sure if you can see, but I've put some pins in to sort of show where the bust is and where the shoulders are and the direction that the beads should be going, because these bugle beads are so long. The direction of the beads really does matter. I mean, it's a loose top, a loose jacket with a lot of ease, so there is a bit of give, but still. And this is me trying to show you the difference between the two bugle beads. There's something so Art Deco about this, the back design. I love it. Anyway, so now I'd finally decided what I was going to do. I could unpick the seams of the sides and the undersleeve, and so I've got the whole jacket laid out flat now, and I did a little bit more on the triangle, but mostly I'm just doing the beads around the rest of the jacket now. And you can't really see the difference at the moment between the side ones where I've used navy thread and the main design where I've used green thread. But once I sew the jacket back together and put it on the mannequin, you'll be able to hopefully see the difference. Or yeah, maybe it's not something that you know you're seeing, but it just helps the design, the triangle, stand out more, but you can't really tell why. So yeah, I really like this one. So I'm definitely going to unpick the navy beads and do more of the green. Actually, I really love these green beads. So now I'm just thinking about what other fabrics I can use them on. So I'm making a jacket out of this. So I'm going to go do loads more green beading. I did eventually do a little bit more beading, but I stopped to do this Vlogmas December set. And yeah, I really don't like that fabric from far away, the red and white fabric. It looks so much nicer up close, and it doesn't, from far away it just looks like it's stripes, and I don't like that at all. So now I'm rethinking whether I even want to use it. But anyway, so here I did a little bit more beading, and I started doing everything around so this is the front obviously, and it's just one side. So I'm going to do most of the beading, then I'll sew in the lining, and I'll finish the front two bits. So yeah, I've only sort of done most of one side, so there's still a reasonable amount of beading to go before I can even think about lining. But I think what I'll do, so for Vlogmas, I've got to say, it's supposed to be a video a day or video every 2 or 3 days. So we'll see how I go. In the last 2 years, I have managed to do a video a day, but we shall see. There'll be collections video of everything I made in September, October and November. There'll be 2 fabric hauls. There'll be some commeries, some beading, some making of jackets, as well as mock-ups of jacket patterns I haven't tried before. And this is me pointing out that I haven't actually unpicked the navy bugle beads yet, so I will have to do that before I do the rest of the green beads. But I'm very happy with these green beads. They are just I love the way the sun shines through them. It's beautiful. Anyway, that is it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learnt from my mistakes whilst beading, so that your beading process and experience can be less fraught than my own. Oh, I thought I might make a bag or 2 this month as well. Maybe a tote bag and a handbag. We will see. Anyway, thanks again for watching, and happy sewing.